Glancing behind me, I see an enemy soldier on the move. I leveled my gun and started pinching off rounds. Hearing the incoming fire, he starts to fire, but it's far too late. His entire body flinches as I land 2 shots in his upper torso, and he falls when I hit him twice in the leg. I duck behind a sewer pipe, happy about my most recent kill when I see 2 enemy soldiers out of the corner of my eye. I try to jump over a pipe, but it's too late. I feel the 5 shots hit me in the chest. The battle rages on, finally ending as my remaining teammates crush the remaining 2 opponents to win the game. This is paintball, and it is glorious. Paintball is one of the most misunderstood and generally looked down upon recreational activities. People see it as rewarding violence and lacking the true characteristics of a healthy team sport like ultimate frisbee, or soccer, or a game of pickup basketball. Largely, the accusations directed at paintball are false, because it is a positive recreational activity. Paintball is fun, athletic, and a mentally challenging recreational activity that builds teamwork and releases tension. Paintball was invented in the early 1980s as a casual activity for survival enthusiasts, but it has grown into a several $100 million activity. It's pretty much an expanded game of tag. Players use a range of CO2-powered guns that fire small marbles of paint at approximately 250 to 300 feet per second. The result is a small splatter of oily paint and a nice dark bruise. Paintball is now played nationwide in indoor and outdoor arenas. There are quite a few variants of the game, such as Capture the Flag or Assassination. In Capture the Flag, the point is to retrieve the heavily guarded flag from the other team and return it to your base. The game of Assassination pits one team of assassins against the Secret Service. The Secret Service men guard an unarmed player dubbed the President. Their goal is to get from point A to point B without the President getting tagged by any assassins. Now, contrary to popular belief, the games are highly organized and officiated. There is always a referee present, and barrel plugs are required until just before the game begins and must be reinserted as soon as the game ends. No hostages may be taken, and a player catching another player off guard at close range must give the player the opportunity to surrender first. Most importantly, there is no physical contact between players. Punching, pushing, or butt-ending with the gun is strictly prohibited. The game of paintball is athletically challenging. There are numerous sprints and dives to avoid being hit. The end of a game, which typically lasts about 20 minutes, all the players are winded, sweaty, and ultimately exhilarated. The beginning of the game includes a mad dash for cover by both teams, with heavy amounts of firing being exchanged. During the game, players execute numerous strategic moves to gain a tactical advantage, often including quick jumps or dives, rolls, and runs. While undercover, players crawl across broad stretches of playing field, often still feeling their bruises from previous games. These physical feats culminate in an invigorating and physically challenging activity for building muscles and coordination. Now, in addition to the athletic challenge, paintball provides strong mental challenge and is heavily reliant on effective teamwork. Paintball takes a lot of cooperation. If you need special hand signals in order to coordinate your team's movements around the field. Constant strategizing is required to effectively maneuver about the field while gaining strategic advantages over the opposing team. As in any team sport, the team that communicates best usually wins. It's about thinking, not shooting, and that is why Fortune 500 companies around the world take their employees to play paintball together. An advantage of paintball for building company team spirit is that paintball teams, unlike teams in many other recreational activities, can blend very skilled players and totally unskilled players together. Women like paintball just as much as men, and the game is open to people of any size, body type, and strength level. People who object to paintball criticize its danger and violence. The game's supposed danger gets mentioned a lot. The public seems to have received the impression that paintball guns are simply eye-removing hardware. It is true that paintball can lead to eye injuries. Accidents do happen, but studies show that 85% of those injured during a paintball game were not wearing the required safety goggles. During my first organized paintball game, I was hit in the goggles by a very powerful gun, but I felt no pain. The only discomfort came from when I had to clean all the paint off my goggles after the game. When played properly, paintball is an incredibly safe sport. The most powerful argument against paintball is that it is inherently violent and thus unhealthy. Critics claim paintball is simply an accepted form of promoting violence against other people. Now, I have anti-war friends who think that paintball glorifies war, and many new parents today try to keep their kids from playing cops and robbers and won't buy them toy guns. These people see paintball as an upgraded and more violent version of the same antisocial games they don't want their children playing. Some people also point to the connection between paintball and violent video games where participants get their fun from killing other people. These people link paintball to all the other violent activities that they think lead to such things as gangs or school shootings, but there is no connection between school shootings and paintball. As seen in the movie Bowling for Columbine, the killers involved went bowling before the massacre. They did not practice their aim by playing paintball. What I'm trying to say is that yes, paintball is violent to a degree. After all, its whole point is to kill other people with guns. But I object to paintballs being considered a promotion of violence. Rather, I feel that it is a healthy release of tension. From my own personal experience, when playing the game, the players aren't focused on hurting the other players. Rather, they're focused on winning the game. Athletic and mentally challenging, team building and fun, the game of paintball seems perfectly legitimate to me. It is adamantly violent, but it is not the evil activity that critics portray. Injuries can occur, but usually only when the proper safety equipment is not being used and proper precautions are ignored. As a great recreational activity, paintball deserves the same respect as other sports. It is a great way to get physical exercise, make friends, and have fun. Now go out to a field and enjoy.